Good morning, Darren. Top 5 stories from Big this morning are B release schedule. Harvey Danger releases their third album Little by Little for free. LG Light Scribe B Burner with pics. Touch keys, the next generation cell phone user interface. Learn C++ with Start Notes. First,
Hey, John. Dude, what is this? I found it on my printer.
It's the RSS newspaper. I programmed it the other day.
Is it like the alarm clock?
Yeah, it's kind of like the alarm clock.
Oh,
I'm going to show you what it is.
Yeah.
So how does this work? I mean, I see that I got like RSS feeds in here, but how did you get it to print out like this?
Yeah, actually it just automates a lot of those things. It parses the files, grabs the RSS feed, prints it out to HTML, and then you set an auto print.
So what am I going to need if I want to do this?
Well, you're going to need an Apache server or an IIS server, a web server to run the scripts, and I use PHP 5.
Dude, that's awesome. Can you show me the code?
Yeah. Basically, we're going to start off by creating some variables for the actual tags. As you can see, when I pull up the XML, it's got like an RSS, the version of the RSS, it's got the channel, and then it traverses through down to the core, which is like the description. So we'll go back up here. I'll show you the variable names. And basically we create an array, throw in those tags in there, and it'll know what to grab, what node to grab. Now we get into a little bit of the dirty work. I'm not going to go through and explain the entire process.
Yeah, this is a lot of code.
It's a lot of code.
250 some lines of code.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot, but yeah, it's a lot to explain.
So it'll be in the show notes, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Is this like, is this a class, or is this...
Yes, it is a class. It's actually, I labeled my class as RSS News, and it's got some built-in functions so that it just creates an object.
So this is really the engine behind your PHP script that parses the XML. So what actually puts it together and makes it look as beautiful as this?
Well, if we scroll down to the bottom, this is all the preg match, where it matches the data from the array to the actual node. Then it grabs that data on the inside. Then we'll just scroll down here. This is doing a little bit of stripping, and this is where the actual RSS feed gets passed into, the actual URL that you enter. Once it goes in here, it's going to actually open that file, going to go grab it, bring back the data, and then we're going to scroll down here, down to the actual printing, which I built into the function as well, which will actually print all the data. It goes through each little node and knows, okay, inside of, let's say, description, it's going to grab all the text inside of there.
So where I've got like this slash.feed, and I've got this story about Google. That's right there where it's actually printing the Google article.
Exactly, and in reality, there's actually that description tag right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it knows which one to grab. All right, then, so we're going to go back to the index page, which is the actual main page that you view all the data in. And as you can see at the top, we included some CSS, so we're not messing around with some ugly tables. And I include once the news.php, which was that core.
That was our class.
That was our class. And I'm going to start off by creating an array of the URLs.
Okay, I see. So we've actually got all the URLs of the news feeds. I see you got weather from Yahoo, and that's my weather right here. Traffic, BBC News, /dot, and then a personal blog.
Right. So we've got as you can see, we've got the links in the array, and now what we're actually going to do is we're going to create those URL objects. Since it's a class, we have to create an object for it. And it's going to count for each and every URL. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that out.
I'm familiar with this. I see body and some div tags.
Yeah. Yeah, well, right before that, we're actually going to parse those URLs. We're going to feed it the URL and parse it. It's going to go through. All right, then, so we're going to move on to the actual HTML. And as you can see, it's really lower down because of the CSS, and I just call my div tags. You've got your RSS header. If you wanted to, you can include the date in there with a simple date function call through PHP. And then we actually call the function that's in that class called print rows.
So we don't actually have to have the engine code in our PHP index, and that makes the code so much shorter between that and the CSS.
Yeah, because if it was in the index file, you'd have to go like a for each loop and then print it out. So instead, just throw it in the class and then just call it.
Nice. So how are we going to automate this so it prints every morning?
Well, basically, we're going to create a batch file and run a few scripts in it. But before we do that, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to call an app file or a cron job on Unix to set the time so that every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Okay,
Friday.
so this is just scheduling to run the batch file, just like we did
Just
with the
like
alarm.
in the alarm clock, exactly. It's going to call that batch file, and we're going to go ahead and run that, and the job's created. All right, so we're just going to quickly go over the batch file. First, we're going to delete those old files so we don't read yesterday's news.
Good idea.
And then we're going to do a curl connect so that we can grab the live data.
And that's making the main CSS and the newspaper HTML.
Exactly. Now it's going to also convert that to PDF with a little shareware program called Doc to PDF. And then it's going to create an automated print command using CMD. So we're going to go ahead and run it. Oops. Go ahead and call it newspaper.bat. Run it. It's going to auto print.
Great. And I see the PDFs coming up.
Yep. And there it goes.
Great, it's coming out the printer.
So there you go.
Nice. Thank you so much. And, this can be customized with whatever RSS feed you want. So, anybody can use this code to make their own custom newspaper in the morning. Where can they get more info and all the code and everything they need to get this done?
We're going to post them on the forums on hack5.org.
All right, so check out the show notes. Sounds good.